If you think being nice, agreeable, and always available makes her want you, think again. What really drives her wild is the man who dares to tease, to pull back, to lead with presence. Most men chase validation, hoping compliments and constant attention will win her heart. But here's the truth. Women aren't drawn to comfort. They're addicted to excitement, to the man who keeps them guessing, who makes them laugh, then pulls away just enough to leave them wanting more. It's not about being rude, it's about emotional control, playful tension, and the confidence to lead without needing approval. The hidden power of teasing in attraction. Most men mistakenly believe that the way to win a woman's heart is by showering her with compliments, being overly nice, or constantly proving their worth. But in reality, what makes a woman crave a man is the art of teasing, the delicate balance between showing interest and keeping her on her toes. Women aren't drawn to men who make things too easy. They are addicted to the chase, the feeling of not quite knowing what will happen next. Teasing isn't just about playful jokes. It's a psychological tool that creates excitement and triggers dopamine, the same chemical responsible for addiction. A well-timed challenge, a smirk after a compliment, or a moment of pulling back when she leans in, all of these subtle actions make her body react before her mind even realizes what's happening. Instead of saying, "You're so beautiful," say, "I was going to take you seriously, but then you did that thing with your hair. Now I'm not so sure." This makes her feel intrigued, challenged, and more engaged in the interaction. The key is balance. Too much teasing without warmth makes you seem arrogant, while too little makes you boring. The men who master teasing create emotional highs and lows, one moment making her feel desired, the next moment pulling away just slightly. This creates a craving, a need for more. The result? She doesn't just like you, she feels drawn to you on a deep emotional level. The power of walking away in attraction. One of the biggest mistakes men make in dating is fearing loss. They cling to women, chase them relentlessly, and seek constant validation. But the truth is, the man who is willing to walk away is the one who holds all the power. Women are instinctively drawn to high-value men, and a man who stands firm, refuses to beg for attention, and prioritizes his own self-worth becomes infinitely more attractive. Think about it. Scarcity creates value. If something is always available, always desperate to be chosen, it loses its appeal. But the moment a man shows that he's not afraid to leave, something shifts in a woman's mind. She starts questioning, why isn't he chasing me? Did I misjudge him? And suddenly the dynamic changes. She's the one who feels the pull. Most men make the mistake of overinvesting in a woman too soon. They text back instantly, agree to everything she says, and bend over backward to keep her around. But this only lowers their value in her eyes. A high-value man moves with confidence, sets boundaries, and refuses to tolerate disrespect. He doesn't act out of fear. He knows that his presence is a privilege, not a gift to be taken for granted. The brutal truth? If she's not afraid to lose you, she'll never fully respect you. And the moment she senses that you don't need her, that's when she starts chasing you. The silent art of creating sexual tension. Most men think that turning a woman on is about saying the right words or being overly direct. But the truth is, the men who master sexual tension don't have to say much at all. They understand that attraction isn't built through words alone. It's about presence, control, and anticipation. A woman doesn't just fall for a man because he flatters her. She falls for him because of how he makes her feel in his presence. A simple gaze held for a second too long, a voice lowered just slightly, or a casual yet intentional brush of his fingers against hers. These subtle actions ignite desire far more than any overused pickup line ever could. It's the anticipation that drives a woman crazy, the feeling that something is building, just waiting to explode. The key is restraint. Most men either rush the process, making their intentions too obvious, or they avoid tension altogether, leaving no spark. But a man who knows how to hold back, how to let her wonder, how to make her crave the moment when he finally makes a move, that's the man she can't stop thinking about. Women don't just want to be desired, they want to feel it before it even happens. And when a man can create that kind of tension without a single word, he doesn't have to chase her. She'll be the one chasing him. The power of making a woman feel truly feminine. Most men focus on impressing women with status, looks, or charm, never realizing that true attraction comes from something much deeper, how you make her feel in your presence. A woman may appreciate compliments or gifts, but what truly pulls her in is the feeling of being completely feminine in front of a man who owns his masculine energy. A man who exudes presence and control, who knows how to lead, who moves with purpose, and who makes her feel desired without even trying, has an undeniable effect on women. It's not about chasing or proving yourself. It's about creating an energy that allows her to relax into her femininity. When a woman is around a man who makes her feel safe yet desired, who speaks with confidence yet restraint, and who makes even the smallest touch feel electric, she stops overthinking and starts feeling. This isn't about being dominant in an aggressive way. It's about knowing how to hold eye contact just a little longer, how to speak in a way that commands attention, how to move like you belong wherever you are. When a man understands this, he doesn't have to convince a woman to want him. She'll feel it before she even understands why. And that's the kind of attraction that lasts. The man who makes her feel like a woman will always have the advantage. Most men spend their lives trying to impress women, thinking they need to be richer, better looking, or smoother with words. But the men who truly captivate women effortlessly understand one thing. It's not about what you have, it's about how you make her feel. Women spend most of their time in their heads, overthinking, planning, worrying about how others perceive them. But when she's around a man who makes her feel completely feminine, all that fades. She stops thinking. She starts feeling, and that feeling is what keeps her coming back. A man who owns his presence without trying too hard, who holds eye contact just a little longer, who speaks slowly and deliberately, and who carries himself with quiet confidence, creates an effect that's impossible to ignore. It's not about chasing. It's about being the kind of man whose presence alone is enough to make her heart race. When a woman feels undeniably feminine around a man, when she feels desired but also safe, when she feels like she's being led without being controlled, she can't help but crave more of him. That's why attraction isn't just about looks or money. It's about the energy you bring into a room, the way you make her feel in your presence. Master that, and you'll never have to chase a woman again. She'll be the one chasing you. The power of sexual tension. Why the slow burn wins every time. Most men think that turning a woman on is about saying the right things or making a bold move. But the truth? It's not about words. It's about energy, presence, and control. The men who effortlessly draw women in aren't the ones who rush into compliments or make their intentions obvious. They're the ones who create tension, a slow, deliberate pull that keeps her guessing and craving more. A woman's attraction is fueled by anticipation. When you lock eyes with her just a little longer than necessary, when your voice lowers ever so slightly, when you pause before answering a question, it sends signals that she feels before she even understands why. This is the kind of attraction that lingers in her mind long after you've left the room. The key is control. The man who can hold back, who knows when to lean in but resists the urge to move too fast, creates an unspoken challenge that drives her wild. It's the almost moments that leave her wanting more. The brush of your fingers as you take a drink from her hand, the way you guide her lightly through a doorway, the near kiss that never quite happens. Most men rush to impress. The ones who slow down, build tension, and let her feel the anticipation. Those are the men who don't just attract women, they stay on their minds. The man who makes her feel like a woman. There's a hidden truth about attraction that most men never tap into. Women crave the feeling of being deeply, irresistibly feminine. It's not about money, looks, or charm. It's about how you make her feel in your presence. A woman spends most of her time overthinking, planning, and staying in control. But the moment she's around a man who exudes true masculine energy, something shifts. She stops thinking and starts feeling. The men who women obsess over aren't trying to prove anything. They don't rush to impress, and they don't seek approval. Instead, they command presence. They hold eye contact a second longer than necessary, speak with confidence, and move with certainty. Their energy alone is enough to make a woman's heart race before a single word is spoken. It's in the small moments, the light touch on the small of her back as you guide her through a door, the subtle graze of your fingers against hers, the way your voice lowers just slightly when you lean in to speak. These tiny, almost unnoticed actions ignite something deep inside her. She doesn't just feel attracted to you, she feels like a woman in your presence. Most men make women feel nothing, but the man who can awaken her femininity, who makes her feel desired, safe, and yet completely out of control, that's the man she can't resist. The power of masculine presence. Women may say they want an equal partner, but deep down they crave a man who can lead. Not a dictator, not a control freak, but a man who makes decisions with confidence. Women are wired to be drawn to men who exude certainty, authority, and direction. A man who hesitates, seeks constant validation, or lets a woman dictate the relationship, he unknowingly kills attraction before it even begins. This is why women test men. It's not about playing games. It's about seeing if you can handle pressure. She wants to know if you'll stand firm or crumble. She wants a man who can take the lead, make decisions, and own his space without looking for her approval. It's why the men who confidently say, "We're doing this," instead of, "What do you want to do?" naturally command respect. Men who are indecisive or constantly seek reassurance appear weak, and deep down, a woman doesn't trust a man she sees as weak. But a man who moves with purpose, who doesn't seek permission to lead, instantly triggers a primal response in her. She relaxes into her feminine energy because she trusts him. Attraction isn't about being aggressive or dominant, it's about being unshakable. When a man leads with confidence, certainty, and quiet strength, women don't just want him, they trust him. And trust, that's the foundation of true, undeniable attraction. Emotional highs and lows. The secret to keeping her hooked. Women may say they want stability, but what keeps them obsessed is emotional excitement. If a man is too predictable, always available, always agreeable, she gets bored. The truth is, women crave contrast in emotions, the highs and lows that make them feel alive. That's why the men they can't forget are the ones who challenge them, intrigue them, and keep them guessing. Think about it. Why do women fall for the bad boy? It's not because he's disrespectful. It's because he knows how to stir her emotions. One moment, he makes her feel like the only woman in the world, and the next, he pulls back just enough to make her wonder. This creates a rush of dopamine, the same chemical that fuels addiction. Most men either play it too safe, always trying to please her, or they're too detached, making her feel neglected. But the men who keep women hooked know how to strike the perfect balance. They tease, challenge, and keep a little mystery alive. They reward good behavior with attention, but don't tolerate games. Attraction isn't built in a straight line. It's a roller coaster. When a woman experiences the thrill of uncertainty, she becomes emotionally invested. And once a woman is invested, she'll chase you, think about you, and crave you. That's the difference between a man she forgets and a man she can't let go of. The submissive trigger. Unlocking a woman's deepest desire. Despite modern independence, most women still crave a man who makes them feel protected. It's not about dominance in a controlling way. It's about confidence, security, and presence. Women want to feel safe enough to let go, to embrace their femininity fully. And the truth is, they can only do that with a man who knows his worth, sets boundaries, and leads with quiet strength. A weak man can't trigger this response. If he's nervous, unsure, or constantly apologetic, a woman won't feel the deep emotional pull toward him. But a man who is unshaken by her tests, firm in his decisions and certain in his actions, that's the man she melts for. It's not about being aggressive. It's about carrying yourself with authority and self-assurance. The way you speak, the way you move, the way you hold eye contact without wavering. All of it signals to a woman whether or not she can surrender to you. The key? Be the man who doesn't seek approval. When a woman senses that a man isn't easily swayed, she instinctively respects him. And respect leads to desire. She'll feel drawn to you without understanding why, because deep down she craves a man who can handle her, guide her, and make her feel like a woman. If you exude that energy, you'll never have to chase. She'll come to you, willingly, eagerly, and completely. The power of presence and self-assurance in life. One of the most valuable lessons a man can learn is that true power comes from within. Not from external validation, not from chasing approval, and certainly not from trying too hard to impress others. Women, success, and respect naturally gravitate toward men who know their worth, stand firm in their values, and exude quiet confidence. This applies not just in relationships, but in every area of life. A man who can walk away from anything that doesn't serve him, whether it's a toxic relationship, a dead-end job, or a situation that undermines his self-respect, is a man who commands respect without needing to demand it. The moment you stop seeking validation and instead focus on becoming a high-value man, you'll notice a shift. People will respond to you differently. Opportunities will come to you and you won't have to chase them. Control your emotions, set your own standards, and never compromise your self-respect. Whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth, be the man who leads, not the one who follows. The world respects those who respect themselves first. Be that man,